So welcome to another segment of my mathematics videos as we continue looking at trigonometry. Remember, we are still focusing on what we are calling as being the sine rule. I just want to give you the other concept. Remember what I said, there are two situations when you can use the sine rule, given two sides plus an included angle, and that's the situation that of the question that they brought in the 2023 paper 2, question number 11 internal paper 2 ECZ exam. So it says in the following triangle PQ, so they have given you PQ 41.6 meters and Q and PR is 70 meters, and the angle PQR is 105. Then the question says you calculate Roman 1 angle QPR. So they want us to calculate angle QPR. So they want us to calculate this angle here. So it is the angle at P that they want you to calculate. Now remember, for you to calculate the angle at P here, you needed to know what this side is. For this angle Q, they have given you the side, that one, but they have not given you, they have actually not given you, for this angle P, you don't know what that side, so it is very difficult for you to find that one directly. So what you're going to do, the side they have given you is R. Remember, let me just label that. If this is Q, that is a small letter Q. If this is angle R, they have given you small r. If that is P, that is small p. So I have the angle and I have the side Q, I'm going to use it. But if for me to find this angle, first of all, you need to know what angle R is. So that was the case with this question. So because you have the side, small r, so first of all, you need to find this angle here. So when you find this angle, it will help you to know this angle. Remember, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So what we are going to do there is that I'm going to say, remember, that is my R over, in this case, sine of R will be equal to small q over sine of that angle Q. So what is my small r? It is 41.6 over sine R. Do we know? No, that's the one that we want to calculate. That is, angle R that we want to know first of all. So that is going to be, what is my small q? It is simply 70 over sine of angle Q, which is 105 degrees. From there, we are going to cross multiply. So this times that will give you sine R multiplied by 70, that is just 70 is equal to 41.6 multiplied by sine 105 degrees. How do I find sine R? I'll divide 70. What I do this side, I'll do it the other side. So this and that will cancel. What am I remaining with? Well, I'm remaining with sine R is equal to 41.6 multiplied by sine 105 degrees divided by 70. So you can punch that on the calculator so that we can know what our sine R is. So it is going to be, if you punch that on the calculator, 41.6, so that would be 41.6 multiplied by sine 105. Okay, so get that answer on top, multiply what is on top, press the equal sign. Once you press the equal sign, there, you can now divide that by the 70 that is there. That's not a degree. So normally this one, people say, should I write the whole value? No, you don't need to write the whole value. You can you can get the correct answer just by leaving it to 4 decimal places. So it would be 0.5740. So if you leave it to 4 decimal places, it's okay. It will help you to find the angle. So remember, I'm looking for the angle at R. Therefore, I'm going to say angle R is going to be, so now at this point you find the inverse. So sine inverse of 0.5740. That's what you do. So what would be the angle R there? So I'm going to say shift sine. Remember, to get the inverse, shift sine, then you key in 0.5740. Close that bracket and press the equal sign. Angles are left to 1 decimal place. this is giving me 35.0 degrees. So meaning, if you get this angle R to be 35.0, you can know what angle P is, representing QP, as in this case Q PR. So therefore I can find the angle at P. So QPR, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I'm just going to say 180 degrees minus these two angles. Remember, we now know what that angle is. It is 35. We know what that angle is. It is 35 degrees. So we can get that angle. So it will be 105 plus 35. So it is going to be 180 degrees minus. So 105 plus 35, that is going to give me 140 degrees. So that is going to give me a 40 degrees. So QPR, so the angle at P is simply 40 degrees. So that's the way, you know, they wanted you to go about this one. So it's not something that is complicated. Please, you can pause the video and you can go back again and again until you perfect your skill. All right. Thank you so much. So we can move on to the, you know, Roman 2 there. What does Roman 2 there say? Well, according to Roman 2 there, the question there says the area of triangle PQ. So we want to get the area. So now for me to get the area, according to the area rule, remember, you have this side and you have that side. And you have, since you have this side and that side, so the angle you need to use is angle P, which we got, which we know is 40 degrees. Now imagine you didn't get that 40 degrees, you would not have found the area. So it simply means that the area will be equal to half. So using angle P, it means you need to take this side and that side. So it will be Q times R, then sine of that angle P. So the area will be equal to half times, what is my Q? It is 70 times my R, which is 41.6. 41.6 multiplied by sine P, which is 40, you know, degrees there. All right. Angles are left to one decimal place. So if you want, you could have said 40.0 degrees. That's what we mean there. So 40.0 degrees to follow what the examiner is telling us. Right. So you can just key in all this on your calculator and see what it is giving you. 1/2 multiplied by 70 multiplied by 41.6 multiplied by sine 40 degrees. So what is that giving me? Okay, so the value that I'm having is 935.89, you know, 87 and so on. So to 3 significant, 1, 2, 3. So you look at the number that follows. It's 8. It's above 5. So I'll round off. It will be 936. So it will be 936. So it will be 936. Remember, this is the area, so it is in square meter. So that's the way you can get it. So the area there, I'm getting 936, you know, square, you know, meter. Right, let's move on to Roman 3 there. So according to Roman 3 there, they want you to find the shortest distance, from Q to PR. So we can just, let me just try to redraw, you know, this diagram that I have there. So if you look at it, it is actually something like this. This is your Q, this is your P, and this is your R. So they want you to, the shortest distance from Q to meet QR. So remember what we said, you draw a line that should be at 90 degrees. Where it is meeting this, it becomes your base, and that is your height. And remember, our H in this case is representing the shortest, is the shortest distance. So because this is a right angle triangle, we know a right angle triangle is given by half base times height. If you make H the subject of the formula, it will be 2 times the area divided by the base. So therefore it will be 2 times, what is the area? It is 936 divided by the base, PR. Remember, PR representing B, our base is 70 meters, so divided by 70. So what will that give you? Please, you can key it in on your calculator. It will be 2 times 936. Whatever you get, I'm getting 1872 divided by 70. So therefore my H divided by 70. Again, to 3 decimal places, it will be 26.7, and this is going to be meters. So that is what they wanted you to get there. All right, let's move on to the B part. Let's move on now to the B part. So if you look at your B part there, again, the question was not complicated. Solve the equation. This is similar to the one that we did previously, but they have just changed the range. The angle should be between just 180 and 270. So you solve it in the same way. Tan theta is equal to 2.75. Remember, find theta. So the angle there, it will be tan inverse of 2.75. So what would be my theta? Again, if you get your calculator and punch it in, it is going to be, tan inverse of 2.75. That is giving me a 70, 0.0 degrees. Now, according to what I, explained there, all students take off. Remember, that is 0, 90 degrees, 180, that is 270, and you come back to 360. They are saying angles between 180 and 270, and it tells you where is tan positive. It's in the first quadrant and in the third quadrant. But I'm not going to get the answer, my angle in the first quadrant. Why? Because they have limited me. It says between 180 and 270, meaning I'll just get the angle in the third quadrant. And remember how we get the angle in the third quadrant. If you know the angle in the first quadrant, it is that angle in the first quadrant plus just 180. So therefore, the angle in the third quadrant is going to be 70.0 plus 180. So what is that going to give you? 70 plus 180 plus 180. That is going to give me a 250 degrees. So this is the only answer, 250, because of that restriction they gave you. Let's conclude, this, segment by looking at our C part, which says you simplify. Again, you are going to be using much of factorization. Please, if you didn't, go back on the video that I made on factorization, and please, you can like and click that subscribe button so that in case I produce a new video, you'll be able to you'll be the first one to be notified that there's a new video and you can watch it out. So again, on top, if I look at it, you can actually get to factor. You can also get to factorize that. Now here, there's something common. What is common? They have gotten that one. I want to factorize it. There's a 3 common. So if I divide a 3, move a 3 out, I will start dividing a 3 because I've removed it out. So there will remain with what? D squared. 3 into 27, because they are 9 times. Now you can be tempted to end there. No, 9 is a square number. So what is in the bracket, you can further work it out, because 9 is a square number that can be written as 3 raised to the power 2. So therefore it will be, here you can get D plus, there you can get a 3, you repeat that D minus 3. You can see that. So meaning the top part, I'll replace it with this one. So it will be 3, D plus 3, and D minus 3. That's the way it is going to be. Over, in this case, D plus 3. You can cancel what is common there. It's 1, there it is a 1. So this times 1 is a 3. 3 times 1 is times that will give you just a 3, open bracket, D minus 3. Over here, 1. 1 into that will just give you 3, D minus 3. So basically, this means is your final answer that you have there. Thank you so much for watching my videos. See you in my other segment as we look at more concept under what we are calling as linear trigonometry. I also talk about paper 1, concepts.